Hi guys, welcome to Web Clinic. Here is another interesting video for you. In this video, we are going to walk through how to build a single page application using React, using a front end library called React. At the end of the lesson, we are going to build a portfolio website. We're going to build a simple portfolio website using React. But before we move on, if this is your first time of coming to my channel, please show some love by subscribing to my channel and hit the notification bell to stay tuned for the next video. Going back to business, what's React? What do you understand by React? React is a front-end JavaScript library for creating user interfaces, or let's say UI components. That's what React is. And single page application. A single page application is sometimes referred to as SPA. That means SPA as an abbreviation. If we say SPA, that means we are talking about a single page application. So SPA is an application that render all its pages, or let's say components, on a single page application. That's what React and single page app is respectively. Okay, so now that we know what React is and single page application, let's get to coding. Okay, so now I'm going to open my terminal. Okay, so if you are using npm, what we are going to do now is we want to create our React application. So if you are using npm, like I said, you use this command npm init React application. This will be any name that you wish. If you like to call your app SPA, you can say SPA. If you like to call it React app, let's say React app. So you can call your application any name you like. If you hit the enter button, it's going to generate your React template, the default template that will be given by React. Okay, so I'm going to cancel it. If you are using yarn, you use the command yarn create React app. So the fourth one will be the name of your application. So we are going to use yarn to generate our React application. That's what we're gonna use in this lesson. Don't forget, if you are using npm, you use npm init. If you are using yarn, you use yarn create React app, then followed by the name of your application. So I'm going to call the name of my app um React lesson, because we are working on React. So I'm going to hit the enter button to generate my React um default template. So but before it finish installing, let's quickly go to what we're gonna do in this lesson. I have um a summary here. What I have on Google Docs is I have the menu BG. That means the menu background we are going to use in this lesson. We have the menu border color, and we have the home, about, skills, and so on. All these we are going to create it as components, because on React it's easy to create components. That's what we're gonna do in this video. We're going to create components and so on. So let's go back and check if our um app is finished installing. So it's still installing. Let's wait. Okay, then we have Appin Hacking done in 10,107.59 seconds. Oh, okay, so let's move on. The next thing we are going to do is we are going to cd to our application. Don't forget, the name of our application is Power Lesson. So we're going to cd to it. Okay, so the system couldn't find the path. Okay, we use React lesson. Sorry, not Spark lesson. We're going to see the React lesson. Okay, so now we are inside the React lesson directory. So I'm going to use the command code to open with my code editor. I'm using a Visual Studio Code editor. Okay, so I have my application here. To start my application, if you are using npm, you use npm start to start your React application. That means if you use npm to install your application, use the command npm start to start your application. But don't forget, I used yarn to create my React application, so I'm going to use yarn start to start my application. So then I hit the enter button, then waiting for my application to start. So let's go through the directory we have here. We have the public directory, we have the source, and so on, and we have the node modules. Okay, so starting the development server. Okay, so our React application is okay. So and we have it here. We have the local port, the default port you React created for us is localhost 3000. And if I go to localhost 3000 on my browser, I should see, let's say localhost, then we say 3000. Okay, so we have the default template provided by React here. We have learn React. This is the default template. So we are going to move on. We are going to modify the code. First thing we're gonna do is let's clear all this. We don't need this. So I'm going to delete this. The logo, I don't need this. I'm going to delete that also. So this again, I'm going to delete it. Manifest.json, I'm going to delete it. Robot.txt, I don't need that also. Then our index.html, let me reduce this command prompt so that I can see. We are going to change um the method to lesson on how to build a single page React application. Don't forget, we are building a single page application and we are building a portfolio website. It will be simple, not very complex. So I don't need this also. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to close this. Then we are going to change the title to portfolio website. Okay, so I don't need this also. Okay, so what I only have here is a div with an ID root. That's what I have here. So I'm going to save. Then going to my source directory, I'm going to delete this also. I'm going to delete everything inside the source directory. Oh, I deleted this the source itself, so I'm going to create the source directory. So I'm going to create the source directory src. Okay, so what we have here is the public directory and the source directory. Okay, inside the source directory, we are going to create an index.jx file, and we are going to create the layout. We're going to say layout.js. That's where we are going to render all the components. Then we are going to create another directory. We are going to call it components. That's where all our components will be, like the home, about us, and so on. Inside the components, we are going to have the home.js. That's our index page. Then we are going to have another file. We are going to call that about.js. That's the about us page. Then we are going to have another component. We are going to create another component that will be, let's say, videos. I want to show you more components so that we can, just to do an example. I can just call that video.js. Okay, let's going to create the video.js. Okay, so on our index.html file, we are going to React from React. Okay, so then we are going to import the React DOM. We are going to import the React DOM from React DOM. Okay, so that's what we are going to do. And we are going to say React DOM. We want to render our application. We are going to use the render. So the first parameter will be what you want to render. We are going to render our layout. We have created the layout file, but we haven't add some codes, but let's render. We are going to work on that later. We're going to render the layout. Then where we want to render it, don't forget, if you go to the public directory, if you go to the index.html file, we created um a div with id root. So if I go to my index.jx file, the first parameter is where we want to what we want to render, and the second parameter we take where you want to render it to. Okay, so we want to render to, let's say we are going to say document dot get element by id. Don't forget we will have the um id root. So we are going to save that. If you go back to your browser, you are going to see an error. Don't worry, we are going to fix that in minutes. So if I go to my layout.js file, we are going to create React component. Follow me up. We are going to create a React component. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to import React. That's default. You're gonna use that because you are working on React application. So you can't escape that. We're going to do that. We are going to import We are going to import React from React. Not only React, we are going to import. We are going to also import. Now I said we are going to create a React component in this file. So we are going to say we are going to import component also from React. So we imported React and component from React. So we are going to say we are going to create a class component. So we are going to call this layout. Then we are going to extend React.component. Okay. Then we are going to render. Then we say return. Okay, so here we are going to return some JSX. So if we say we create we create a file h1, then we say wow, React is awesome. Then we save and we are going to export the class we created. We are going to use are going to use the extends. I said extend, sorry for that. Export. We're going to use the export default. Then the name of our component layout. So if we save, don't forget if you go to index dot jx file, we render the component, the component we created, we have already rendered it. So let's save and go to the browser and refresh. Also, I'm sorry we didn't um import the layout. So we're gonna say import layout from, and that will be, sorry, this should be capitalized. Then from dot slash, that will be layout.js. Then you save. If you save and such file directly open. So let's try to terminate our server. You use Ctrl C to terminate. Then let's restart our server. We use and start. Then let's wait for it to start. I don't know why it's giving an error, but let's see what's gonna happen. Then let's go back to our browser, starting the development server. Then going back to our browser. Wow, then it works. It works. Wow. React is awesome. It works. So if you have the same error, try to terminate your server and restart, it should work. But if you have another error that you can't fix, try to comment down below this video. I'm gonna reply to you back. Okay, so let's go back to business. The about.js, we are going to create a functional component. On layout.js, we created a class component, but on home.js, video and so on, we are going to create a functional component. Don't forget, let's okay, so let's copy this. And on home.js, I'm going to paste this. Don't forget, I said we are going to create a functional component, not a class component. So I'm gonna change this to functional component. So I'm going to say function. So the function should be this will be home. I'm going to change this to home. Okay, so I don't need this. I don't need to extend the dot component, but I will need to return. Okay, so let's try to say welcome to home page. So if I save, then I'm going to go to the layout. Then I'm going to import the home. I'm going to import home from from the component directory. Don't forget we have the component slash home. I'm going to import the home, then I'm going to save. So if I render the home components and save. Oh, there's an error here. I should grab this. Here doesn't support two children without being wrapped with parents, the parent element. So if I go back and refresh, I should have. Oh, I said that's a typo error. That should be, if I go to my home, this should be welcome to. Okay, so if I save and go back, you see welcome to home. So I'm going to copy this also. I'm going to do the same for the video. So I'm going to change this to video. Then I'm going to change this also to video. So I'm going to save. I'm going to do that for my about page. Don't forget we are building a single page um portfolio website. So portfolio website should have home, about, skills. So we haven't created the skill component. We are going to create that. Then the video and so on. So I'm going to set this to skill, and this will be skill. So I'm going to create another component. I'm going to say new file. So I'm going to call that skill.js. Okay, so I'm going to paste this also. So I'm gonna change this to skill. Okay, so sorry, this should be about. Then I'm going to change this to about in the video. So welcome to, we're going to say video page. Okay, so if I save and go back to my layout.js, this layout page, that's where we are going to render all our components. So we are going to import the about from, going to modify this one to about. Sorry, I'm going to change this to about. And we have the scale. skill. So I'm going to change this to skill. Then the last but not the least, we have the home, about, skill, then the video. So I'm going to change this also to video. Okay, so I save. I'm going to render the about page also. Then I'm going to render the skill page, then the video. So if I save and go to my browser and refresh, it refresh automatically, no need of refreshing. So we have that all the components we created is being rendered on the layout file. And if you go to your browser, you're going to see what the JSX that will return. Okay, so we can move on. Don't forget we have the summary of what we're gonna do on Google Docs. So I'm going to use CSS Bootstrap, a CSS framework called Bootstrap. So I'm going to say Bootstrap on Google. So I'm going to go to the documentation, then I'm going to copy the CMD. So I will go to my index.html file, then I'm going to paste this here. Okay. So on my layout.jx, we are going to have we're going to create a div. So we are going to set this class to container fleet. So class name equals container fleet. I'm going to save it. Then we are going to set a class name equals row, because we need a grid. So we are going to create. We are doing a grid, bootstrap grid system here. That's what we're going to do. So we are going to have under div. So this will be class name equals, let's use, this will be the menu. So this we have col md2. Then another, I'm going to copy this and paste. So let's set a comment. This will be content. Okay, so I'm going to grab all of this. If I paste it, and I will paste it in between the this will be on Bootstrap. The grid system is 12. We said this col md2, so this will be col 10. So I'm going to set this to 10. If I save and I can just render something here, just say span menu. So if I save, let's go to the browser, and we have a sidebar menu here, and the content. Okay, so let's move on. On home.js, if I go back to our benchmark. Let's say benchmark because that's what I'm looking at. Because all the content we're gonna render is already on Google Docs. Made it there. So I'm going to render some PSX here. This will be, let's say, H5. Let's say H5. Or let's say H3. That should be heading. You don't need this. And this will be H5. Okay. So I'm going to copy this and paste it there. Sorry. I'm going to copy the H5 heading. Then I paste it there. Then let's try to wrap this with H4. I'm going to clear this off. So I'm going to paste it there. Sorry, I'm going to close the H4 tag. So this should be wrapped with an element. It shouldn't be outside. It should be wrapped with an element. So if you save this and go back to the browser, you're gonna see um our home page has changed. Okay, so I'm going to copy this. But let's set this to H4, H4, and this should be H6. Okay, so I'm going to copy this, and I will go to our about page. I'm going to paste this. Let's set a class name to this. You can just say test success. And if I go to our home page also, I'm gonna do that changes to it also. So you can say class name equals test success, and you save. This class is a bootstrap class. If you add this class, you're going to see a green color. There's success. Then we are working on the about page. So this will be about. This will be about. So let's go back to Google Docs and see what we are going to render. Okay, so the about, we have all these. So I'm going to grab this. Okay, so I'm going to paste it somewhere here. I'm going to clear this. I don't need this. Okay, so I'm going to clear this also. Then this into, I'm going to move it to the H4. Then this, I'm going to copy this. Then I'm going to move that to H6. Okay, so hope you are following. Follow me up, it will be interesting. So this will be, I'm going to create I want to create a list. So we're going to have li. So I'm going to duplicate this. Okay, so this we have span. Okay, We are going to create a two span. Let's try to break it so that our code will be neat. So I'm going to copy this, then I will make a duplicate. So the first one we have the name. So I'm going to drag this up. So I'm going to drop it somewhere here. So the name Harrison Akorede, I'm going to drop it here. Then the age, I'm going to drop it here. Then the value, I'm going to drop it here. Then we have the residence, I'm going to drop it somewhere here. Then the value, I'm going to drop it here. So we still need more li, so I'm going to copy, then I will make a duplicate. Then we have the email. So I'm going to drop it here. So I will clear this, I don't need this, or I didn't need this also. I'm going to grab this, then I will drop it here. Then the phone, I will drop this here also. Okay, so I think we still need one more li. And we're going to have the span. We are using span because span is an inline element, so we need an inline element there. So I'm going to drop this. I'm going to create another. So I will drop this here. Okay, so what we have so far, let's save and see. Then if you go to our browser, then we have the home, we have the about. The first span, we are going to add a class. Is a bootstrap class of font weight bold. Let's confirm. You see the name is bold, so we're going to do that for every span or every nth child of one. So this is an nth child of one. We're going to set that to the age, residence, and we are going to do that also for the email and the phone. We're going to do that for that, and the freelance. So we're going to save and go back. So we have that. Okay, so we have the skill. We can what we are going to um go to our skill file, then we're going to copy this. Okay, so I'm going to paste this, and this will be h4. we are going to create a list. Going to create list. I'm going to close it. So I'm going to do this. Then let's copy this. Let's make a duplicate. Can just so that it's going to be easy to just render the to just manipulate all the content. So we can just easily move the content in between. So we're going to move it. So I need to wrap this with a parent. Then I'm gonna close it. I will say div. So let's save and go back to our browser. Then we have the skill. We're going to set a class of um font test success. Okay, so then you save. Let's make this list bold. Then we are going to add the class font weight and we set it to bold. Okay, so we grab this, then we are going to paste it to all the li or the list. Okay, so we have that. Let's go back to our browser. Font weight bold, is it not working? Oh, sorry, we did. There's a typo error here. There should be E here. And if you save and go back to our browser, we should have this. Okay, so the video page, we can just do something like, okay, so the video are going to, don't forget, let's go to our layout.jx. We're gonna need something similar. So I'm going to grab from here so to here. I'm going to copy that. So I'll go to our video.jx. So I'm going to paste it. So I don't need all this. I don't need this. So I'm going to clear it. And this, I don't need that also. Okay, so I don't need this comment and this. So we want to make a grid system here also. So a grid system of before. That means I need a 3 system grid. This also I don't need that. I'm going to clear that one. So I'll make a duplicate of these 3 times. Okay, so I'm going to save. Then I will go to my YouTube. Don't forget, this is a video component. We are going to pull a video there. So what can we put? Let's use this. We're going to put three video. Okay, so let's render this CSS bar to also, and um let's see. So if we click on share, if you click on share, then we click on embed, you should get the HTML code. Then we are going to paste it here. Okay, so the CSS bar to also, then we are going to click on share, then we're going to click on embed. So we are going to copy this code also, then we are going to render it. Then you click you click on um Ctrl V, we paste that one. So the last one, let's find a video we're gonna use. Let's use introduction to Dino. Okay, so
In
you
this
click on
video, we are going to discuss a
share,
simple introduction to Dino before
then you click on embed. So we have the HTML code here. So you click on Ctrl V, you save. So let's go back to our browser and see. Who was this? This is not looking good. Let's see what happened there. Oh, there, I think um it should be this height and width set, so we're gonna remove it. So we don't need that. We're gonna remove it. We can just set the width to hey, sorry. So we're gonna set the width to 100%. So automatically the height will be auto. So if you go back and save, wow, so we have a good looking template. So we can move on. Let's create a button. Let's say div, then this will be class equals text center. Okay, so we're gonna have a button. This will be see more videos. See more videos by Ericsson. Okay, so if we save, then we go to our browser, you're gonna see a button, but let's style it. We're gonna say class equals, we're going to set the class to btn primary, and we save, go to our browser, we have this. We can set the magic bottom to like 5, and if you save, or let's say my, that's margin top and margin bottom, to center. Let's use a large button. You can just say btn lg. Okay, so we need this in center. We can set the display to inline. Why is it not working? Let's use mx to auto. I don't know why it's not working, but let's move on. We're gonna solve that later. we're gonna solve that later. So the next thing we are going to do is let's design our menu. Let's design our menu. So we haven't created the menu, so we're going to create another file, menu.js. Okay, so on our menu.js, this also will be functional component. This also will be functional component. Okay, so we're gonna import React from React, and then we're going to use the functional component. Then we say function menu. So we're gonna return JSX, I mean HTML. So this will be div. Then we're going to have um class equals zero. Sorry, class equals zero. Then we're going to have another div. This we take we're going to set a class equals, this will be code. Okay, so we are going to render an image. Oh, image is one tag, is a single tag. So we're going to say the source RC equals. So this should have a closing. If I go to my channel on YouTube and I click on my profile picture, then if I right click, then I want to copy the source so that we can use it for our application. So we have the source here. So I'm going to copy, edit as HTML. Then I'm going to, copy the source. Okay, so I'm going to paste it there. So if we save, let's see. So if you save and let's go to our browser, let's refresh. Oh, sorry, it won't work. We haven't export and render our component. So let's do that. We can say export default, then the name of our component, that's menu. Then we are going to render it on the layout page. So we are going to import the menu from that should be dot slash components slash menu, if I'm right. So this we are going to render the menu. So we're going to say the menu. So we're going to render that. Then we save. There's an error. Menu is not defined. What's happening? Oh, sorry, I said menu none. That's a mistake. So let's save and see. And it works. So we have oh, there is an error also. Menu is not defined. We still having an oh, sorry, I comment. Oh, we still having an issue. Let's try to figure it out. We have menu is not defined. Let's see. Let's go back to our menu.js and confirm. We have function menu. We return um JSX, then we export the default menu. Then our layout.jx, we say import menu from the slash component slash menu. Then if we go to, then we render the menu here. So what's happening? It should work. Let's try and save again. And we go back to our browser. Let's refresh. So then we have an image here. It works. So let's continue. If we go back to Google Docs, on our first or second paragraph, we have the menu BG. So let's copy that menu background. Okay, so if I go to menu.js, I'm going to set a class here. Oh, sorry, there is a class already. I'm going to set menu. Okay, so um let's create another, let's create another directory. Let's call it css. So inside this css, we gonna have our style.css. Okay, so let's import our css. By doing so, we can just say import dot slash. Don't forget we have the css slash style .css. So let's save. So if I go to our style.css file, don't forget we added the class menu. Then we're going to set the background to this. Then you save. So let's go back to our browser. It's not working. Let's see. We created a css file with style.css. Then the layout page, we say import the slash style.css. Okay, so on our menu, let's go back to our menu. Then we have class name equals menu. Okay, so it works. That's the background on underneath the video. Oh, sorry, I said video underneath the picture. So let's try to style it very well so that it can be eye appealing. So we can just set the height so to 100%. Okay, so we have that. Then we are going to set the we're going to set the position to fixed. Okay, so we have that. Okay, so Going back to our menu.jx, we are going to set a class here also. We are going to call the class rounded. So let's see. Okay, no, we are not using rounded. Or let's set is a class. Let's style it ourselves. I want to make a circle. I forgot the bootstrap class, but we can just say style equals. Then we are going to say border radius. Then I'm going to set down to 50%. 50%. Then you are going to save. Let's see. So we have a circle. Wow. So it works. Let's move on. Now we are going to create. Let's create another div. So we want to make the menu. Now should we use UL or normal div? Let's go on. Let's create a class equals some call. Then let's use the UL and LI. So UL, and I'm going to have the LI. So this will be the first will be home, right? The first should be home. Then I'm going to copy this. Then I'll make a duplicate. So the second should be about, and the third should be let's say skill, and the fourth should be let's say video, right? So we're gonna set that to video. We're gonna set that to video. So let's save and see what we are going to get. Oh, what's this? This is not eye appealing. What's this? There's an error here. Let's try to fix it. So let's set this to code 12. Let's save. Let's go to our style.css. Let's go to our css file. Then we set overflow to reading. Let's see what we got. Let's go back to our menu. Let's comment this out. What's happening? Sorry. Let's change this to div. Change this to div. So let's change this to div. Then I don't need this. Don't need this. So let's save and see. Still having the same issue. Let's do Ctrl Z. We're gonna solve that now. Let's set this to call md2. Okay, so let's save. And then let's try to inspect and see what's happening. So if we inspect, we have column D2. If we say overflow reading, I will set this, I will say index, set index to 2. What's happening? We have the row. Okay, so I've seen that. Let's remove this row from it. So we can just say px0. So let's refresh. So we have this. So we can just set px0 to this also. Then we should no, nope. Let's leave it. So we're gonna have this. Okay, so let's move on by styling. Let's say let's set the class menu list. So this will be class equals list on style. That's a bootstrap class. So the menu list, we're gonna say so don't forget we have div. Is it div? Let's go back and confirm. Sorry, menu list UI and li. So we're gonna say going back to Google Docs. So we have the menu border color. Okay, so we say border bottom. So one px solid, and we have this. Then we are going to set the color to #777. So let's save and see. It should be color. Okay, so we have that. If I go to menu.js, so I'm going to set padding up to, like, let's say 5. So 5 is okay. Then we are going to add a class here also. So this will be UI, like padding top and bottom. Can set that to 3. Then let's save and see. Oh, 3 is too much. Let's say 2. Let's save and see. Okay, so 2 is okay. Then going back to style.cxs, we are going to say cursor. Going to set that to pointer. So anytime I mouse over, we are going to get a pointer. Okay, so that's interesting. So going back to let's say layout.gx. So the code 10, we're gonna say padding. Let's set the padding to like 5. Let's save and see. Okay, so we have this. Okay, so Move on. Then we are going to install a module called React Router DOM. React Router DOM helps to navigate to our components, save the browser history, and so on. So I'm going to say, if you are using npm, use npm install React Router DOM. But if you are using yarn, you use, instead of npm install, you use yarn add so React Router DOM. So then click enter to install the module. Before that, let's try to modify. So the home page, let's create a button. We have a button here. Let's copy this. Then if we go to the home page, let's try to paste this. We don't need a big button. We're going to remove the btn lg. So this will be about, then this will be skill, this will be skill, and this will be video. So I'm going to set btn primary, and this will be btn 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 warning, and this will be btn, let's say info, and let's save and see. So we have this. We can set dmx to 3, that's margin left and right, to 3, then to 3, then you save. Let's go back and see what's happening. It's not working, but let's set a div. This will be video. So we are going to have the a. So I'm going to close this, then I'll make a duplicate. I'm going to clear this. I'm going to make another duplicate, and I'm going to clear this. So I'm going to close it here. Remove this. I will save. Then I'm going to create a class equals mrt, that's margin right. Let's see. So we have that. This should be O, not 0. Okay, so we have that. So we are going to say first name, we set department up to like 4. Okay, so that's interesting. So we have the home, we have the skills, then we have the CMO. So the symbol we are going to that should be video, and then we are going to add a. So we are going to close it. So this we have. If I go to my channel web clinic, and if I copy this, then I'm going to paste it here. So I'm going to say chef equals, sorry, chef equals. So I'm going to paste this there. Okay, so if I go to my browser, if I over, you see the name, the URL we added. If I click it, it's going to redirect to YouTube. So let's move on. Don't forget we installed a module now, React Router DOM. Okay, so my menu, let's start from menu.js. Our menu.js, we are going to import um we are going to import nav link. We're going to import nav link from the React Router DOM we just installed. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this with nav link. So I'm going to say nav link. So nav link. So I'm going to close that. So I'm going to clear this. So I'm going to close the nav link. Oh, what's this? I don't need this. Okay, so I don't need this also. And this also. So nav link, we import the nav link from the React Router DOM we stored. Then we're going to say 2 equals the index, that's home. Then we're going to say 2 equals, instead of using the tag, you use the nav link in React, or you use the link, but here we are going to use the nav link. If it renders, it's going to render as a attribute. I'm going to show you that. So 2 equals slash about, and 2 equals, and this will be scale. Then I'm going to have 2 equals video. So I'm going to save. If I go back to, also we have an error here. You should not use nav link outside a router. Oh, sorry. We are going to also import the browser router. Sorry. We are going to say browser router as, we are going to import it as, let's call it router. Okay. So I'm going to wrap the router. I'm going to wrap it with the nav link. That's the error it gave, that you should not use nav link outside a router. So you can import it as any name you like. If you want to import it as router, I just feel like using as route. I just feel like using router. So I'm going to close this. If I save, let's see. So I have this. So if let's see, if I inspect and I look at this li, you are going to see that it renders as a attribute, not nav link. That's what I said I'm gonna show you. So let's go back to our style.css file. Then we're going to use the a. So let's go back and see. Okay, so we say a attribute is an inline tag. Let's try to modify the code. Then let's add a class to it. So we're gonna say class equals class name rather. That should be code 12. Code 12. Let's save and see what's happening. What's happening? Okay, let's do it like this. Let's do it like this. Let's go to our style.css file. Then we use that. We're just gonna say, so we're gonna copy this. Then I'm just so we are going to add the a here. Then I don't need this. Then you're going to copy this and paste it here. So let's save and see. Okay, so we have our design. We have a default design that we're working on. Okay, so let's go back. What are we doing earlier? I think we are um working on menu. If I'm right, so we are working on menu. Oh, we have worked on menu. We are done with the menu. Let's we have wow, React is awesome. Let's try to change this title. I don't like it. Well, where is that? Is it the home? Where did we render wow, React is awesome? Don't worry, if I see it, I'm going to change it. I'm going to change it if I see it. Let's move on. If I see it, I'm going to change it. I know I'm going to see it. So the layout.js. Okay, so this is it here. This is it here. We can just do something like, let's make our work fancy. We can just say we can just create a constructor. I'm going to create a constructor, then we're going to set a parameter of props. Then this we have the super. Also to take the props parameter, and we can just say this dot state equals, let's say intro, then we're going to say welcome to my portfolio, right? Because you're working on portfolio. So I'm going to save. To access your state, we can just say something. We can just do something like this dot state dot name of the object. Don't forget to set that to intro. So if I go to my browser, let's see what will happen. Then we have the welcome to my portfolio. We are going to wrap this to H1 so that it will be audible. Is the title of the app. H1. I'm going to close that. If I refresh, and you can see we have welcome. Oh, sorry, I wrote welcome. It's funny, right? I'm sorry for that. It's I don't know why I'm just there has been many typo error in this video. I'm sorry for that. Okay, so I will clear that, and I have welcome to my portfolio. This should have, let's set a class, set a class class name because at the bottom, let's say 5, and if we save, we have this. Okay, so let's move on. Now we are going to bound the layout so that when we click on home, we are going to see only the home. Where we click on about, all those stuff, that's what we're gonna do now. So I'm going to go to my layout.js. That's where we are going to do the awesome work. This is where we are going to do it. So here we are going to import. We're going to import one. We're going to import two module from the React router DOM. So the first one will be the route, and the second one will be we're going to import the browser router as route. So from where we are want to require that from React router DOM. Okay, so let's move on. So we have an error here. Let's try to fix that. You say, what's the error? Route has already been declared. Oh, sorry. We are going to import that as router, not route. So let's save. We should not get an error now. Okay, so we are good to go. This is where we are going to do the awesome work. I don't need this. Let's comment it. So we are going to have the browser router. Sorry, I said import as route. If we come, you can see browser. Sorry, said browser router as router. So we can say browser router rather. So router. So inside the router, we we're gonna have the route. Gonna have the route. So the route we have what we call the path. The path will be the components. So don't forget we have the home. So I'm going to copy that. So and then we have the about. We will be the component. I said route will be the component. So this will be video. Then the last one will be the skill. I think that's all we got. Okay, so if I save it, let's save and see what will happen. Oh, this is a big error. So let's go back. Let's go back and see what will happen. Let's see where we have made a mistake. We import route, browse router, then we wrap it here. Oh, what am I doing? This part should be the URL, and we are going to have the component. Then the component will be home, and we are going to change this also. The path will be the about. So I'm going to change this also to about. So, and also this to video, and this to skill. Then component will be about, and um for video we're going to have component to video, then the scale also to, we're going to say component equals scale. So anytime we have the index page, is going to render the component, the home component, and anytime it says the URL, anytime it says /about, is going to render the about component. Anytime it says the video part or URL, is going to render the video, and so on. See, wow, so we got that. So if I click on about, the URL changes, but it's not affecting this. There is another. Let's try to figure this out. That should be from the menu.js. That should be for the menu. We don't need this again anymore, since we have wrapped it in the layout. So let's try to remove the router, and let's save and see. So going back to the layout, sorry, if I go to layout.js, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this one. I'm going to wrap it from, I'm going to wrap this with the menu component. So I'm going to paste it here. So if I save, there's an error here. This should be up. So I'm going to paste. Let's save and see. And we refresh. Okay, so we have this. If I click on about, it's not getting the about. There is still an error. You still have to fix. So this, we have the exact page. You go to your menu, then if you come to your layout, then we save. this will be forward slash about, and let's try and refresh. So if we go to our about page, if I go to home, we have the home. If I go to about, we have the about. If I go to skills, we have the skills. If I go to video, you're gonna see what we render from YouTube. I said I wanna set this to center. Let's see why it's not positioning to center. There should be, as a front end developer, you should know how to use console.log. It helps a lot. I said console, sorry. You should know how to use inspect. Inspect. It helps a lot. Oh, so this I think that's the error there. If I go to that's video, then I'm going to say code 12. Okay, so if I save and refresh, so I got that in center. So let's go to our index. This should be, should be linked. That's home page. We are almost done. So this, we are going to import the browse router and this stuff. So let's copy it. I'm going to, hey, sorry, I'm going to copy this. Then we go to our home page. Then we are going to, we're going to paste this. We don't need this. Don't need this one. I think so. Let's see. So we're going to import the route from. We don't need this also. We're going to import the nav link. We're going to import the nav link from React router DOM. So we are going to change this a tag to nav link. Let's do something funny. Let's do something funny. I just want to, grab the closing tag. That's why I added the closing tag. So if I use Control D, I should grab everything. So I'm going to use the nav link. Okay, so I can just come here and close this. So this will be to equals forward slash about, then this will be, or to equals, that should be skill, then this will be to equals video. So if I save, let's see. Okay, so if I go to about, I should see. Let's go back to index. If I go to video, you should see. But let's try to style the menu very well. Why is this white showing here? Let's see. That should be menu. Okay, so let's try to say. Let's try to say. You know. Let's go. No, that should be layout. That should be layout. Let's try to inspect and see, so that we know what's gonna change. That should be layout. So the layout, we can just do something like, pl equals 0. So let's save and see. Wow, so we got a design that is eye appealing. Yes, eye appealing. So if I go to home, we I'm going to be, redirected to home. If I go to about, if you check your browser URL, you see that it's forward slash about. That's the work of React Router done. Then skill video. Thanks for watching. Thanks you guys for watching. I love you guys. See you in my next tutorial. But please, you guys to please, you guys should show me love by subscribing to my channel. You can just do that by clicking the subscribe button. You just click like this, then you tap the notification bell to stay tuned for the next video. See you all in my next video. Bye.